The American College of Rheumatology has always been devoted to the study and treatment of rheumatic diseases, but a desire to expand the field by funding a peer-reviewed research and training grants program led to the establishment of the ACR Research and Education Foundation as a separate 501c3 organization in 1985.
Well, the foundation came to be after the American College of Rheumatology actually separated from the Arthritis Foundation. The mission became clear that the Research Education Foundation was to preserve the future of rheumatology.
There was this feeling that the future of rheumatology really was at stake.
It's really established as a way to raise funds to support people developing careers in research and developing careers as rheumatologists.
We've given out $22 million in grants the last 2 years. That's a staggering number, particularly when you think about the fact that only 10 years ago the REF distributed $500,000 in grants.
Many of my colleagues in other specialties are jealous because such programs don't exist in all the specialties of medicine.
The REF took a significant step forward when the Industry Roundtable was created, bringing together the foundation and pharmaceutical industry leaders in a dynamic partnership.
It's a tremendous win-win kind of situation. Exponential growth was possible because of the Industry Roundtable.
It was clear from talking to our partners in industry that they have the same goals that we have. I mean, they develop new therapies for arthritis, but they want the proper people to be administering these therapies and understanding these therapies.
By 2006, it was becoming ever more apparent that the demand for skilled, trained rheumatologists would soon exceed the supply. Working to increase the number of fellows completing rheumatology training programs became and remains a top priority.
In 1 year, we had no pediatric rheumatologists trained in the entire country. We had projections of my generation retiring with a huge exodus of rheumatologists out of the specialty and nobody in the pipeline to replace them.
Shortfall has been estimated to be about 2,500 physicians by the year 2025 to 2030, and that's nearly 50% of the workforce.
So we need to do everything we can to try to increase the number of people in training to try to meet that demand. Our core programs will always be the critical element of the Research and Education Foundation.
The REF Awards allow for training, for fellows, for mentoring activities.
For young investigators, mentoring is very, very important.
A number of grants later, I'm still writing proposals and dreaming up new ideas to try to improve people's quality of life with research.
Difficult to convince universities or hospitals to support people like me until we establish ourselves. I was able to secure a faculty position and begin the transition from being a trainee to an independent researcher.
In research circles, the REF is sort of that angel fund to really get you going in the direction you want.
There's often a very important gap between the time that you finish your fellowship training and you're trying to start your early academic career, getting the funding that you need before you're successful enough to really apply and be very competitive at the NIH level of funding.
It's a critical moment in time. That lack of support, if that were missing, a number of young investigators probably would not go on in their careers.
I think that we are capturing the imagination and the interest of many of the talented house staff that now are opting for other subspecialties, and we're making them think twice.
Building on recent advances in rheumatologic research, the REF launched a bold new campaign focused on finding a cure for rheumatoid arthritis, a goal that was determined to be within our reach.
And we targeted rheumatoid arthritis as the disease that we are going to try to raise money for, and to try to raise money not only for old ideas, but innovative, new ideas to give people funding that would allow them to generate hypotheses and some discovery, and then go to the national organizations and ask for funding.
We support the Within Our Reach campaign because it is our best hope for a cure for what ails our daughter.
All of the money is used to help translate this bench research into bedside care.
This focus on innovative grants the ability to study basic versus clinical versus translational projects.
They're willing to sort of take a risk, and with the idea of being high risk, high benefit.
The bottom line for us is we wanted to make sure that our dollars were going to have an impact. And when we knew that the dollars were all going to be invested in research, it really rang true to us that this is the kind of organization that we should embrace.
With continued support, the REF envisions a bright future for the profession and for people with rheumatic diseases.
We're bringing in a generation of individuals who continue to be very committed to their patients, to the science, to the love of learning.
The research efforts that have been going on now for some 50 years are really starting to pay major dividends. The therapeutic armamentarium that we have developed is so much better now. We're actually talking about remission rather than just disease control. That was unheard of even 10 years ago.
For a patient, it holds hope.
I think that it will be within my lifetime when we can say to patients that we can stop this illness and even cure it.
It's a huge privilege to be able to donate money to the REF.
In addition to really excellent stewardship, there's a real commitment and a real sense that, you know, if we don't do this, it's not going to happen.
I get excited about being associated with something that's so successful.
It's only right to give back to an organization that's helped support me early on.
Because of your support, the REF is now recognized as the premier private nonprofit organization dedicated solely to strengthening the national rheumatology academic environment. As a direct result of this funding, the number of fellows completing rheumatology training programs has nearly doubled over the last decade, and promising young researchers have received vital support and funding.
Thanks to the core awards from the Research and Education Foundation and the American College of Rheumatology, a new generation of young scientists are being encouraged to pursue their dreams.
Without the REF, we'd have major problems. We really need their support to sustain programs from year to year.
Thanks to you, I was able to become a clinical researcher.
Because of your support, I've been able to take my laboratory in a new direction.
Thanks to you, we're helping to ensure the future of rheumatology.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you so very much.